Wales against Australia. It feels like an elimination match, doesn't it? Two similar teams, very experienced coaches, relatively inexperienced teams going head to head. A long way to go in Pool C, but it feels like it could be winner takes all, potentially. We will see. Certainly if Wales win, Australia are done. If Australia win, it's wide open. There's so much to play for in this game. So this is my preview of that game. The teams are out. I'll compare the sides and come up with a combined 15 as well. Love to know your thoughts in the comments. And if you appreciate the content in the channel, I'm Tim. This is Egg Chasers. It's just me in a van taking this thing around France for 7 weeks. And if you appreciate that, you can show your appreciation with a thumbs up on the video. Hit subscribe so you don't miss anything, because by the end of the weekend, it will be a mad 4 days of rugby. In Marseille last night for France-Namibia, and Antoine Dupont's now confirmed fractured jaw. I'm currently parked in the car park at the stadium at St Etienne, about to go and watch Argentina v Samoa. And tomorrow, I will be at Ireland versus South Africa in Paris before Wales-Australia in Lyon. And that's the game I want to talk about right here. And let's start with the Australian lineup. And, well, I guess the big headline news is Eddie Jones, the man he put all that faith in, didn't need Quade Cooper to be backup for. Carter Gordon is ditched. He's on the bench, which is a big call, isn't it? I think it makes sense, bearing in mind how Carter Gordon played and I guess how Ben Donaldson's been playing. Which is, the Ben Donaldson story is a fascinating one, because he's not even really wanted by his Super Rugby side, and here he is starting for the Wallabies in a World Cup. I think the bigger point here is that Eddie Jones's experiment is blowing up in his face, right in front of our face. But we'll see how it goes on Sunday. But it looks like an unwise choice to jettison experience. And in the case of Carter Gordon, having all those eggs in that one basket with a young guy, really inexperienced. I mean, hindsight is always 20/20, but it's not like people weren't saying this when the Australia squad was announced. It seemed odd at the time, and now he's dropped Carter Gordon. Seems even more strange. Andrew Kellaway comes into the side at fullback. I mean, he's been great for Australia. So, I mean, you could argue that they're strengthened with those selections. We're going to see how it plays out. And up front, of course, they are missing Taniela Tupou and Will Skelton. Absolutely massive. Like, literally massive. Got about 45 stone worth of people that, if you're in a country that doesn't do stones and pounds and you do kilos, I don't know what that is. Will Skelton's like 150, isn't he? Taniela Tupou's not far off. So getting on for 300 kgs of mass out of that Australia pack is that feels game changing for them. And the other one is Fraser McRae, whichever one of those it is. He is out of the back row. The back row merry-go-round continues, and Rob Leota comes in to the pack. It's asking quite a lot of James Slipper, isn't it? I mean, it's very impressive that he can scrummage on both sides, but it's a big challenge for him. And the other interesting one, just noticing it in the lineup, is that the skipper is Dave Parecki now. So, have I got this right? Tate McDermott, who is back in the side at scrum half, he was the vice-captain before the World Cup. He was the captain when Will Skelton wasn't there. He was injured or unavailable himself for the last game, so didn't play, and now he's back in and he's not captain. So, again, it's just little tiny things like that just give you an indication the flux that this Australia team are in. That said, I mean, look at the back line. Koroibete, Kerevi, Noanganitawase. They are absolutely class. And they're always going to be in with a shout. But they're fighting an uphill battle. But then they're up against Wales, I guess, who, well, that's the Wales team. They're in a very similar place to Australia. I guess the difference is, and Warren Gatland's done very similar things to Eddie Jones. He's picked a lot of inexperienced guys, given a lot of young guys a chance. However, I think the crucial part is he has retained a certain level of experience with guys like Dan Biggar and George North and Liam Williams, Talupe Faletau, Aaron Wainwright. You know, you've got guys that have been there and done it. You've got guys that have been on British and Irish Lions tours. And we weren't sure what team Warren Gatland was going to pick before the World Cup, but he went straight for experience against Fiji, and it paid off. And, I mean, he's surrounding some really exciting young guys like Jack Morgan with real experience and pedigree. And it seems to be working for Wales. It's the option that Eddie Jones has not left himself the ability to do. And right now, you have to wonder what a Michael Hooper would do just for the whole group. But there you go. I guess it's kind of as expected with Wales. I did maybe wonder if Dewi Lake may make an appearance, either in the starting 15 or on the bench at hooker. But Elias and D are the two. Slightly surprised about that, because I thought he looked really good against Portugal. And he's a big physical presence. Vice captain as well, or joint captain. So yeah, I don't know if there's an injury there. Same goes with Tommy Raffel, who couldn't play in the last game. I'm assuming maybe a little bit of an injury, although Tame Basham does offer a kind of quite a violent ball-carrying threat of his own, doesn't he? I think Adam Beard needs a big game. A big game. There are other players breathing down his neck. And then Gareth Anscombe, who started the game against Portugal, and I mean, good for him to be back, and good for him that he's able to have back-to-back games. Sam Costello might feel hard done by, but again, I think it just leans into that theme of experience being important at World Cups. And so what I've done is I've taken both of those teams and I've just come up with a combined 15. I'll be interested to know what you think of this. So when I took shirt one versus shirt one all the way through down to 15, with the exception of the back row, where I was going back and forth on Taulupe Faletau or Bobby V. I couldn't decide. And then I just went, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put Bobby V in my back row, because he has played open side. He'd probably be an open side for many other international countries. So yeah, Bobby V gets in because he's just awesome. But other than that, it's I think the story of this is Wales, I think, will have an edge up front. Australia, if they can get good ball, have got like real difference makers in the back line. I just think they don't have them in key positions. So, I mean, I was talking about this in relation to Ireland, South Africa, and how I wonder if Sexton Keenan 10-15 may make the difference for Ireland against South Africa in a really tight game. And I think the same may be true of Wales against Australia. Dan Biggar and Liam Williams. That is a lot of caps, a lot of experience, a lot of nous, and just a lot of talent as well to kind of marshal the team. Liam Williams be the eyes and ears and the backstop, try be the last line of defence and neutralise those players like Koroibete and Karevi and Nwanga Nitawase who can bust games wide open. You kind of back Liam Williams to, in a game to kind of get the better of them. And Dan Biggar will just put Wales in the right part of the pitch. Can Ben Donaldson do the same? I'm not so sure. I think there are weaknesses in both teams. The front fives, I think when they come up against other international teams, not so much in a quarter-final, but definitely in a semi-final, if either of these teams get there, then I think they're going to struggle in the front five. And the depth is just not there. When one of the key players goes out, the players that are coming in, there is a drop-off. But that is part of what makes this a really, really exciting game. I cannot wait for this. It will be there in Lyon. I think that gives you a little sense of where the balance of power is. And yeah, if you're looking forward to the game, I will be there, getting a load of fan reaction after the game, obviously, and there with my instant thoughts following the final whistle. So to get that, hit subscribe, leave your comments, and I'll see you on the next one.